brave move on my part. Yes, like you mentioned, I had to come back home to Bengaluru for a surgery. So my wife who's sitting here, she had organized everything back home. So I was to come back and get my jaw fixed. But then I realized when I went back to the changing room that afternoon, when I knew that it was broken and then I was coming back home. When I went back to the changing room, we had, by the way, more than 500 runs on the board, and I was the only leg spinner. I was the only spinner in that playing 11. Of course, we had Sachin Tendulkar, who could bowl anything, and he was bowling leg breaks. And I saw sitting in the changing room just before tea, and I felt that I should go there and possibly pick up a couple of wickets to put the team in a good position. We were 1-all leading into that test match, and there was another test match after that. So I felt that if we can win that test match, of course I wouldn't have participated the following day. It was just that one session that I could go and possibly make an impact, pick up a few wickets, put the team in a good position, and that was the only thought. I've always gone onto the field when my shoulder was fine, so the shoulder was absolutely fine. There was nothing wrong with it. And it was just the jaw that was broken, more than anyone else.
Just the jaw?
Yeah, it was. So I knew that, you know, no matter what happened on the cricket field, the surgeon will be able to take care of that. So that was the only thought process. Never ever felt that when I walked into play, what if something again hits me on the jaw or I get injured? Those thought, I don't think I ever even thought about any of those.
Anil, together we can. That's the mantra of a limitless India right now. How do you perceive this idea of limitless India? As Indians, we can do anything and everything in terms of sports, in terms of cinema, in terms of literature, education. How do you perceive that?
I think, you know, we've seen that, you know, in 75 years of our independence, I think we have done wonderful things. And just to reflect on sports itself, you know, just to reflect on my own sport, which is cricket, we have come a long way. You know, today we are consistently in finals. Yes, we have won a couple of tournaments, won World Cup recently in the T20. The last ODI World Cup, we were runners-up, and we are going to play again on Sunday. So in that sense, you know, we've been sort of not just competing, but there. You know, 1983 was a breakthrough moment for Indian cricket when India won the World Cup. But since then, I think we have moved really high up in the ranks as far as cricket is concerned. And in terms of infrastructure for cricket itself, if you take the sport, you know, today you have international stadiums across India. It is not just restricted to the bigger cities, which it used to be probably about 20, 30 years ago. So now it's a lot more. There is a lot more players playing the sport with the IPL. There's a lot of players getting opportunities to play on a big stage. And not just the men's cricket. Women's cricket has evolved too, because when you talk about limitless India, it's not just about one section of the society. It's not just men, it's also women. How do you sort of become inclusive? How do you ensure that they come along and then do what, and make you proud? And women's cricket has certainly made India proud. Today, the Women's Premier League is happening, and that's something that's giving a lot of girls an opportunity to showcase their talent. And it also means that a lot of young girls are taking up the sport. And that's the beauty about cricket. Today, it's dominating in cricket, and you know, other teams would want to beat India. It was not the other way around. It was always the other way around. When we sort of you know, played, it was beating Australia was a big thing. Beating West Indies just prior to that was a big thing. And today beating India is a big thing for the rest of the cricketing world. So that's the beauty about limitless India. And when you talk about sport itself and how we have grown in sport, you know, I strongly believe that when you want to become a sporting nation, when you want to create sport as a part of your livelihood, as a part of your lifestyle, it's important to create icons in sport. And today we have icons in athletics, in Neeraj Chopra. We have Manu Bhaker in shooting. And they also had someone to look up to in Rajavardhan Rathore, then Abhinav Bindra. then Gagan Narang in shooting. So you had someone to look up to. Badminton has had superstars. I mean, with Prakash Padukone being the first one to win the All England Championship. After that, you had Gopi Chand. And then in women's badminton, you had Saina Nehwal. Then now PV Sindhu. In tennis, Sania. So you have all these icons who then represent and give you that feel that when you're growing up or taking up the sport, you have someone to look up to, saying, you know what, if they can make it, even I can make it. I think that's the beauty about sport, and that's the beauty about the new India, because you have icons in every walk of life, not just in India. When you go outside of India, when you travel abroad and meet high-profile CEOs, and most of them are Indians. And that's the beauty about Limitless India. I think we have a great opportunity. The talent is there. It's just a matter of ensuring that we are all single-minded and determined in our approach, and things will, sky is the limit. I mean, that's all I can say.
Anil, I think you remember, in fact, most of us remember that moment. In 2009, you were playing for IPL, and at that point of time, you were actually playing gully cricket. You were actually playing local cricket just to make a point that, no, I have to keep my performance on, and complacency should not grab me or should not kill me. What will be your suggestion for this Limitless India audience? We are a generation who want instant success, we want instant growth, but time and again we get depressed, we get demotivated with sudden failures. What will be the suggestion for Anil Kumble, who has seen a lot of ups and downs in his career?
I think play a sport. That's the best part. When you play sport, at the end of the game, you have a result. Whether you win or lose, you have to again start from scratch the next day. And that's the beauty about sport. There's nothing called failure in sport. You only learn from, yes, a loss. In cricket, you lose a match. 2 days later, you again play a match. So we saw that. We saw that with New Zealand. They lost to India, and then 2 days later, they played South Africa. They've won, and now they are coming back again and playing India. So that's the beauty about sport. You lose one day, you learn from that, and then go on to the next stage. So I certainly believe that sport teaches a lot. It's a wonderful way to learn life lessons. It's a wonderful way to live your life, because when you play sport, you go through, like you mentioned, all the ups and downs in one's career. It's not always hunky-dory. You spoke about the 10-wicket haul. People know me because of that. I had a great day here in Delhi 26 years ago. But 4 days later, we traveled to Calcutta to play another match. It was a part of the Asian Test Championship against the same team, Pakistan, and I struggled to get 1 wicket. That's the beauty about cricket. You're up one day, and the next day you start all over again. So you learn to live with this, you learn to adapt, you learn to recognize the fact that in a career spanning 18 years, it takes a number of hits for you to actually succeed. So people talk about the 600 plus wickets, and they tell me that you're number one in India. All that is fine, but I had to bowl about 40,000 deliveries to get those 600. So which meant that more than 39,000 deliveries didn't get me any success. So it's about being persistent. It's about being at it all the time, and then eventually things will work out. And that's the beauty about sport. And I feel even without you noticing anything, it automatically teaches you all this. So please, if you feel stressed, if you're feeling that what's happening here, just go and play a sport. You sweat it out, I think the stress goes away.
Do you think that more number of sportsmen coming out of India, this way India with this limitless idea can be the next superpower of sporting industry also?
Oh, absolutely. I certainly believe that's one of the reasons about 15 years ago we started something called Tenwick, where we are focusing, the entire focus is on grassroots sports, because at the end of it, champions come out from a larger base. When you provide a larger base, then automatically the sport grows, and the sport becomes even more competitive. And that's the beauty about cricket. We spoke about Limitless India. When you speak about Limitless India, it's about creating more number of people participate in active sport. And that's something that we are constantly trying to achieve. In school, make it a part of the curriculum. Even today, yes, the government of India has taken a strong hold on ensuring that sport is everyone's sort of right. They go and play the sport. But I feel that every child should take up sport at a young age. We are not saying that you need to become champions. You need to represent India and win gold medals. No, just participating in a sporting activity, making it a part of your culture, making it a part of your lifestyle, certainly helps in developing a nice way of managing your own life. Ups and downs, challenges, exam pressures, then the result pressures, all of that gets taken care. So grassroots sports is something I strongly believe if we focus on, then automatically your champions will come out of that. And like I mentioned some of the champion names in the sporting world, you will see a lot more happening if we focus entirely on the grassroots sports.
Anil, as a proud Indian, how important do you believe nationalism and strong sense of national pride are in building a limitless India? Because nationalism is right now what we feel is the need of the hour for every Indian, right now this audience sitting here. How important it is?
It's extremely important. I think, we should be proud of our roots. We should be proud of our culture. We should be proud about who we are as people. And I certainly believe when we go out and represent our country in cricket, when you, just now we heard Ricky Cage perform the national anthem. You just get goosebumps when the same national anthem is played in Australia when you're standing there just before a match, or for that matter in England, or for that matter in New Zealand, or whichever part of the world. When you're representing your country and you have the national anthem play, it gives you goosebumps. And that's the kind of pride that all of us should have. And the moments when you win a match and the whole crowd, I mean, you go to any world event now, especially in cricket, about 90% of the crowd will be Indians. So you'll only see a sea of blue everywhere when India plays anywhere outside of India. And that gives us a lot of pride. It gives us it's like a 12th player playing for you. Cricket is played only with 11 people. 11 cricketers play on the field. But you have a solid backing of a 12th player in the kind of representation that happens across the world. And the sense of belonging and the sense of feeling itself is immense. So I certainly believe that we are at a stage where each one of us look at contributing in whatever role that we are playing. That itself, I think you're contributing to the nation. That itself is nationalism. I mean, in my view, if you can do your role that you're assigned to with the utmost sincerity, the utmost dedication, the utmost commitment, then I think you're one step there. It's just about understanding and being proud of who we are and who the representations are from India, and really being proud of them. And that to me is a feeling that I received when I go and play cricket for India, or even now, when I travel, because of the popularity that cricket has in India. It's wonderful to sort of get that kind of adulation and the kind of respect that you get just because you're a cricketer from India. And now the respect is really, really fantastic to get when you travel outside of India.
And then last question, you have been to Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha in 2024, and this year you have been to Mahakumbh. You were talking about the roots. How important it is to flaunt our Sanatan Dharma and our culture and not be ashamed of it.
No, I don't think we were ever ashamed of our roots. I don't think India has ever been ashamed of our roots. It's just that I feel it's just that some of the narratives, of course, we went through a colonization and then, of course, globalization. Because of all of that, the narratives change a little bit. But I don't think, all of us are really proud of our heritage. I'm a very spiritual person. My my mother was a very spiritual person. My wife who's sitting here is very spiritual. And she knows, all the scriptures, and she breaks it down and makes it even simple for me to understand. And it's about what you believe in, and it's something that is inside you. And like I mentioned, if you continue to sort of lead a path or lead a life which you do your own roles and you sort of go ahead and perform those duties, and that to me is itself spiritual.
That's a motivating point to end this session. Thank you so much. Rini, please come. Let's have another round of applause for our 90s kids, the icon of 90s kids. Thank you so much, Anil. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Mayuk, and thank you, Mr. Kumble. I'd like to request you to please stay on. We've got the Hackathon winner with us. In the category of equity and empowerment, Limitless Idea, we have now Ancilla Maria Faustina, who joins you up on stage. Ancilla, please come up. You get to meet the legendary Anil Kumble. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ancilla. We celebrate her for her innovative use of AI in revolutionizing job matching in rural India. By bridging the gap between opportunity and talent, her initiative ensures that India's workforce is connected, empowered, and ready for the future, bringing prosperity to the heart of Bharat. Thank you so much. I'd like to now invite our co-sponsor, Mr. Shri Das, MD of Hanuman Laboratory and Jacques Olivol Group, to please felicitate our living legend, Anil Kumble. I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you've eaten sufficiently to be able to give us a rousing applause. Thank you.
Namaskar, and Gurudev, I can't thank you enough for being with us and making the start of this very special occasion memorable, special, and auspicious for us with your divine presence. Gurudev, from all of us here at the Republic Media Network, you have been a source of wisdom. You have been our guiding light from the start of this network. You have been with us through thick and thin. And therefore, we are all overwhelmed that you took the time. You cancelled so many schedules, and you are with us today. So, Gurudev, once again, a big round of applause to you, sir. Thank you, sir. And that is the incredible thing about Gurudev, that he makes it also possible. When everyone said it would be difficult to get you in with your schedule, you came here today. I'm so happy. We're so happy, Gurudev. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to this. And welcome everyone to the opening sessions of the Republic Plenary Summit 2025. I think Ashwini Vaishnav deserves a bigger round of applause than that.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is probably one of the busiest ministers in the Modi government. He does a great job. And today, Ashwini ji, is 1 year since the AI mission was launched.
Yeah, exactly.
6th March 2024, the government launched the AI mission. And today, circumstantially, it is 1 year. So there's some big announcement that you're going to do today, I'm told. A little later, you want to talk about where we stand.
Yeah. Well, we are launching the Common Compute Facility today. 14,000 GPUs.
Wow. In simple language, can you explain what that will do for us?
The biggest supercomputer we have is about 700 GPUs, and this is 14,000 GPUs. Just compute how big this compute facility is, right?
Now, there's this global war between America and China on AI, and the Americans thought they won it, and then the Chinese announced DeepSeek. Right? Where will we stand?
Listen, we are very well placed to win in this AI race. This is the new industrial revolution. AI has brought in such capabilities which are going to fundamentally change our society, fundamentally change our economy. So we in a country who have a very strong software strength,
Yes.
and now building up the hardware strength, we are so well placed that we can really take leadership in this field. And that is why our Prime Minister, who has given us the thought that we must democratize technology, we have taken that as the path where, to begin with, we are creating a common compute facility. Second, we are developing our own foundational models.
Right.
Third, we are developing a series of applications which can be used to solve population scale problems. Fourth, we are creating a very good talent pipeline. We are already ranked number 1 by Stanford University.
Number 1 in the world.
We are ranked
on AI talent.
On AI talent already.
Fantastic.
And we want to strengthen that, continue that. And we want to have a series of data sets of non-personal data which can then be used to train models without bias on using our diversity, our Indic languages, so that we get something that we really need, and that will become the big force which will help our industry, our researchers, our startups to develop solutions for our needs.
Will we be dependent on the American companies? You know, there's Google, there's Meta, they're pouring in billions, tens of billions into this, dozens of billions. Will that be an impediment? And this thought came, and we just spoke to someone who says, we are concerned, Mr. Minister, that they should not own the highways on which we will walk.
That will not
They should
happen.
not own the roads of this industry.
That will not happen because, I'll tell you, the world of AI has just begun. This is, as it can be said, that this is probably just the second over in the first innings of AI development, right?
Okay.
This is where the beginning has just happened. So this is the time when, see, the innovation and the cost will depend upon two major factors. First, what are the mathematical algorithms that we are going to use? Second, how efficiently we engineer the model so that it uses the resources in the most efficient way and brings the best possible solution from within the resources that you are deploying, right? These are the two factors which will happen. And where else do you think that talent, that capability resides? We sent a mission to the moon at fraction of the cost of the Western world. I think our foundational model and our AI journey is going to have exactly the same result, I can say that.
That's superb. At a fraction of the cost, more ingenuity. So what you're basically saying is that you're watching and letting them spend the hundreds of billions of dollars while we know we play cricket, we're letting them lose their wickets in the first 2 overs. So
I wouldn't like to put it that way. The way I would like to put it is that in this brave new world where technology is rapidly changing, we must take the lead, and our talent, our policy, our leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, where he continuously invests in technology, he continuously guides us. These are the strengths we should put to good use and be a part of. I can say in next 5 years, in practically semiconductor technology, in AI technology, in telecom technology, we will be among the top countries in the world. I can say that with good confidence.
Where are we placed on semiconductors? Can you give us the big headline on semiconductors?
We are very well placed in semiconductors. 2022 is when we started the semiconductor mission, and today 5 units are getting constructed, and 2025, this year, we will be rolling out the first Made in India chip.
The first Made in India chip.
Absolutely. And one major initiative we are taking now is we are moving towards being a product nation, which means we have shortlisted about 25 chipsets. These 25 chipsets vary from very small value, high volume products to high value, low volume products. In this entire range, we have selected and we are starting the development of these products, which basically means that we will be owning our IP, we'll have our products, we have the design capability, we are getting the equipment manufacturers, and we are setting up the fab. In a sense, the complete semiconductor ecosystem will be in India in the coming 5 years.
So what I'm learning here, and Mr. Minister, can you explain this in simple language? The technology world will not be run only by the American tech bros. There will be no monopoly of deep technology. Monopolies will not work because, we don't want this feeling that they got it first and hence they will own it for the eternal future. We want to have a level playing field in the world on digital technology, AI, semiconductors, especially AI. Are we going to get it?
Absolutely. The way the world is panning out today, about 4 or 5 countries, or let's say 5 countries, they will have a big say in technology in the coming 5 years. And we will be among the top 5.
We'll be among the top?
Top 5.
We will be among that's a big headline. We will be among the top 5 in the world in artificial intelligence, deep tech, and that is very reassuring. Now, for all the young people watching this today, how will this impact their lives, Mr. Vaishnav? Whenever we've spoken, you've spoken about what drives you. You're a very busy man, you handle 3 ministries. There's something which drives you today. What do you see into the future for someone who's 20-year-old today?
Someone who is 20-year-old should feel very happy that you are in the right time when you are growing up, when you are contributing to the economy. Because when you grow up, when you are in decision-making positions, you will see a country which is Viksit Bharat, which is a developed country, which is standing on its own feet for all the major technologies.
I traveled to Gujarat recently and there was this, I had to get to one meeting from Ahmedabad to Baroda very quickly. So I had booked a car and a cab, a whole business team, and then it was getting very late. So someone says, what's the time? I said, in 10 minutes we can get the Vande Bharat to Baroda. I reached in 43 minutes Ahmedabad to Baroda. It's brilliant. So I feel so proud. Tell me, what is the big headline on railways? I feel, can I say something to you personally? I feel, and I'll go a little personal and direct with you, don't mind, Mr. Don't be so cautious, I'm okay. I won't bite. What I just want to say to you is that I feel for this man whenever there is a moment which challenges him. I don't praise people well. He's worked so hard on railways. And yet, there are events which happen which are beyond our control, conceivable control. And sometimes the media plays only the negative and criticizes, and we're cynics and then we blame. One day I saw a picture of him sitting on the tracks after the accident in Orissa. His head was down, but the man did not move for 12 hours. He sat there, he walked down the tracks, he did not leave till all the repair work had been done. And I think that day many people saw that picture and he said, we see good intent in this man. He's trying to do a good job. And I know that you will succeed.
Thank you.
I know you will succeed.
Thank you.
Now, what is the headline in railways? What should we look forward to? Give me a futuristic idea. When is the future of railways coming completely?
Thank you, Arnab. In next 5 years, how we are going to see a totally new, transformed railways. 5 major things. First, safety has really been the focus in the last 10 years, and the results are visible today. What used to be more than 170 accidents in a year is now less than 40 accidents in a year. That is the change which has happened. And it is going to get even better in the coming years. So safety is going to be a paramount thing. Second, totally new generation of new railway technologies we'll see. We'll see large-scale movement of Vande Bharat trains, Vande sleeper trains, Amrit Bharat trains, Namo Bharat trains. These trains you'll see in large numbers in the coming years. Manufacturing has picked up very well, and every version we are improving. Third, on green, you'll find that Indian Railways, probably will become the first railway in the among the larger railways. I don't talk about 3,000, 5,000 kilometer railways, but among the larger railways, which are more than 50,000 kilometers, will become the greenest railway. And just incidentally, our hydrogen train should be launched in May this year. Wow. Our first hydrogen train.
Hydrogen train! Wow.
And this is the most powerful hydrogen train in the entire world, 1,200 horsepowers, whereas most of the other trains being developed in the world are like 600 horsepowers or 800 horsepowers. So this is going to be really, really a big thing. And that demonstrates how deeply we care about technology and how much talent we have that we can develop such complex technologies in our country. We'll also see bullet train corridors coming up in many parts of the country. Our BJP manifesto had specifically mentioned that after the good success on the western side, we'll have one in north, one in east, one in south. So this will become a totally new way of traveling. We'll also see totally new generation of locomotives. I recently visited Dahod, Gujarat, where a new 9,000 horsepower locomotive is being developed. And believe you me, it is like a data center. It doesn't look like an engine, doesn't look like a railway engine at all. When you move inside, you feel as if you are walking through a computer center or a data center. It's that.
The engine.
Yeah, the engine.
The engine.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so advanced, and very soon we'll start exporting such engines out to the world. And I think India will become a major railway equipment manufacturer and exporter in the coming years, the way we have become in electronics, in telecom, in defense equipment, so many other things. Same thing will happen in railways also.
So the most sophisticated railway engines in the world will be exported from India?
Absolutely.
And this, I'm visualizing, how many people need to operate this Star Trek type railway locomotive engine? How many people are needed? Is it army?
Well, it's basically loco pilot and the co-pilot, that's all.
We'll take a trip on that trip.
We will.
You let me into the
I think about some 30 days work is to be done, and then we'll request Honourable Prime Minister to inaugurate it. Yeah. It's going to be a great thing.
A last question to you. I know you have to go. Big day for you. Big announcement happening at 4 o'clock. I promised I'll let you go. Now, last time there was a story you said about how the Prime Minister works, and that went viral. I told you about it. I asked the Minister in one of my previous events, how do you people work? How is it being in the Modi cabinet? What happens? And then he told me about a presentation he makes. And then he said, can I say that? He said he made a presentation to the Prime Minister, and they all prepared, and they all prepared. The bureaucrats prepared, the Minister himself prepared. And the presentation, he said, went on for more than an hour. I said, so what did the Prime Minister say? He said, Prime Minister said, nothing. And then he said, we all walked out. And he said, late at night, the Prime Minister called me. Late at night. And he said, you can say the rest. What did the Prime Minister say to you? You can say that.
I think.
He said that something to the effect, you are thinking for the next 10 years.
Yeah. He basically, our Prime Minister said that your designs are, that was about stations. He said that the designs are good for today, but I want you to design for 50 years.
It's amazing.
50 years from now.
50 years from now. So tell me now, in third Modi government, what is the mood in the government, and how does it compare to previous times?
It's three times more effort to be put in. 3 guna zyada mehnat karni hai.
We are proud of you, sir.
Thank you.
We're so happy. See, he came here. He has such a big artificial intelligence announcement, but he is a man of commitment. We delayed him. We're grateful for him. We wish him luck. 1 year of AI. And every headline will be first on the Republic Media Network. Thank you, sir. One of the most hard-working ministers in this government, Ashwini Vaishnav. I really love this. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Before we let you go, sir, we have a couple of youngsters who we'd like you to please honor. I'd like to call upon the Hackathon winners in the category of AI and machine learning. Shiv Singh, may I call you up quickly, please? Dhruv Mahajan, for celebrating history, culture and tradition. Abhinav Gupta, for deep tech and semiconductors. I'd like to also mention Brunda Raj, who could not join us, but she's the winner in the Inclusive Nation Building category. All of you, please join for a photograph quickly. Abhinav, please join. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That gets them smiling bigger. Thank you so much, Minister Vaishnav, for laying out with total clarity India's AI vision and for driving Bharat's unstoppable march into the future.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
The core philosophy of Sanatan Dharma is rooted in acceptance. As Swami Vivekananda said, at the World Parliament of Religions, he said, we believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions